Welcome to the Larbert Oaks Mansion Ghost Tour. Built in 1887, 5 generations of Farsleys have inhabited this mansion, and an unusual number of them have met their deaths under suspicious circumstances. Bad for them, but good for me. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a ghost tour. There are over 20 suspicious deaths. So during the tour, why don't you guys stay close by? We wouldn't want to make it 21 tonight, would we? It's just after 10 p.m. This is the adult tour, which means you can drink if you want, and we can say whatever the hell we want.
Jizz.
Sorry?
Jizz? Like cum shot? You can say that because you said we can say whatever the hell we want.
Sure.
Or horse cock?
Yeah, I guess. You know, there are no rules about swearing.
Awesome.
But let's do try and keep the comments and questions related to the ghost tour, okay?
So, were you ever a fan of Jelly-Filled?
I think I was. I think I was just a fan of anything that had extra amount of sweetness in it when I was a kid.
Yeah, same.
Because I was a little roly-poly.
But what?
Now I'm just a big roly-poly.
What is your favorite donut, Blake?
All time?
All time. It could be as specific as you want or as general as you want.
Well, I've been converted to this little hole-in-the-wall donut joint in Tulsa called Joy Donuts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what part of Asia they come from, but, I mean, it's, depending on who you get at the drive-thru window, you have to, like, give your order a couple of times just to make sure they understand what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a language barrier there. But I think they have the best old fashions I've ever eaten in my entire life. And if you add maple icing to that old fashioned, I think it may be my favorite donut.
I look forward to trying these donuts.
So they have what my oldest calls pink donuts.
Pink donuts.
So they have those donut holes, but they're glazed in this pink glaze.
Is it good?
And you have to go like before 8 a.m. Otherwise they're gone.
Okay.
And Seamus is obsessed with pink donuts. Like whenever we go to church, he always looks for the pink donut.
Are they a specific flavor or just pink?
No, just has to be pink.
Just pink. Okay.
Yep, just pink. He loves the donut holes though, so we try to go every so often.
Yeah.
And go early on a Saturday morning or something. They're closed on Sundays and maybe Mondays. Yeah, I think Mondays too.
Yeah, we have like a 24-hour-ish donut shop in Chico called the Donut Nook, and
nice.
It also has weird hours on Sunday and Monday, and also Tuesday too. So much so that like my wife and I we have the hours printed on our refrigerator because it's happened so many times that we've gone and they've just been closed. And they're on the other side of town. Oh. And so and for a while, like, they were, I think because they just, like, close whenever they run out of donuts or is convenient for them, and then have kind of some solid hours outside of this weird block of time. They don't really follow what's on Google. So we've Googled, like, are they open? And it'll say, like, yeah, they're open. And then we get there and they're like, no, we're not open for another hour. So, which is fine. But yeah, we have their hours. And yeah, again, just really, really solid old-fashioned donuts. Some good bars.
What is your favorite donut?
It probably an old fashioned maple, like you were saying.
I knew we were kin.
Yeah, they have great buttermilk bars, but those are just kind of like bar versions of the old fashioned. So no, it was. I was very sad when we moved further away from them because Chico has 2 other donut shops. I think I might be missing some. I'm not counting like the Safeway donuts and the donut stores. Those are fine, I guess. They're actually terrible, but like if you need your donut fix. But the Donut Nook is the only good one in Chico. So yeah. Dang.
Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Do y'all have like the Dunkin' Donuts and crap like that?
We had actually. You know what? This is weird. I don't know if we still have the Krispy Kreme. We had a Krispy Kreme for a while, and then
I'm not Are you a fan of Krispy Kreme?
When I first had it, it was fine, and I think I was still exploring my donut identity. I was feeling out my holes, and
Don't ever say those words again.
As you do when you're exploring your donut identity, your tourist self. So I liked them, and then I realized, oh, this really isn't a donut. This is just kind of like a flake of sugar or something.
It's a congealed sugar.
It's fine. It doesn't have any substance to it, and other than the like normal glazed one, I didn't actually enjoy much of the other ones that I had. So.
And really, the only good way to have the glazed one was if you found them open and they were running the conveyor belt.
Oh yeah, when they had the hot light on,
like fresh off the press.
Yeah,
that was the only way to eat them.
And to be fair, I've had those before. They're good. Like they hit the spot, when you would eat them. But yeah, it didn't. It was too infrequent, and like I said, the substance issue. Give me an old fashioned with some density to it, and yeah.
Yeah, I need density to my donuts, especially if it's going to be like old fashions or like bear claws or things like that.
Yeah,
like I need a little bit of oomph to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other than donuts, how have you been, Blake?
It's funny. I've got a kid who refuses to sleep. Or, no, not refuses to sleep. Refuses to go to sleep. Once he's asleep, he's fine.
Okay.
Except for when he wakes up in the middle of the night and says that there's a shadow spider under the bed. Which... I'm not one of those people that's enlightened. I'm like, hey, it could actually be a shadow spider for all I know. Like, so I put him back, or I rock him for a little bit. And I say a little prayer over him to ward away whatever evil bullshit is under his bed. And I put him back to bed. So,
And he's not going back to bed after that. Is that part of the problem, or?
Oh no, he's going back to bed.
Okay.
It's early. It's like when we're trying to get him to go to bed in the first place. That's when it takes a little extra time.
Yeah.
So my wife and I find that we probably extend about an hour of our night into getting him to go to sleep. So.
Yeah. What about the new one, Finton? How
like a champ, just sleeps like a champ.
For now. Hopefully forever.
Yeah, not forever. It's gonna happen.
I mean,
regression always happens.
We know that. But like, I don't know. I kind of hate when, and I just did it to you. I hate when like parents come and be like, well, for now. And it's like, yeah, can't I just enjoy this fleeting time and pretend that, like, it's not going to change? But...
Yeah, but that's... I mean, it was insulting when it's your first kid. And the second kid, you're like, yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna suck. Like, you're agreeing with all that information. They're like, oh shit, they're gonna regress here. I know. That's not gonna be good.
Yeah.
First kid, you're like, oh, come on, please, just let me enjoy this.
Okay.
But then you know.
Sure.
You know what's about to happen.
I just hate know-it-alls. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well,
That's
so you hate me.
Well, a little bit. No, I'm just kidding, Blake. No, I think it's different when I'm shooting the shit with friends than it is when, like, you know, it's random people and they want information so they can tell you all the knowledge that they've accumulated over their life. And I don't know. People like to talk. I shouldn't get mad at people for just talking. Even if they slip up every once in a while and you know, annoy you. But speaking of sleep regression, as you know, Hazel was having his sleep regression, and I think we're actually on the other end of it. We still have some pain points, like there's last night he woke up in the middle of the night and was up for about an hour, but outside of that he slept for, you know, he slept from, I don't know, 7 to 1 and then like 2 to 8. So, like,
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it was great.
An hour in the middle of the night, that's not bad.
No. So and this is becoming something we can kind of count on. Whereas, like, he was struggling to go down, and then he would stay down for like 2 hours, and we were like, I guess our evenings are just nothing now. And so it was like that for like 3 weeks, and then probably a little bit longer than 3 weeks. And then we finally, like, there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and it feels like we can do things in the evening now.
And it literally happens overnight.
Yeah, it was...
By just one night, he decides to, you know, cool as shit and sleep.
Yep.
And you're like, whoa, what is this? What, have I entered a alternate universe? What? Who are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've been there. That's how it leaves as quickly as it comes.
Yeah.
So. No, but yeah, he's you know, he's still a champ. He's doing well. We've I usually end up getting up around 1 to 3 for a feeding, and then probably about 4 to 6 for a feeding.
Okay.
And then at that point, I usually just get up because there's really no point.
Yeah.
So we root for a 3 and a 6. If we're rolling dice, we'd be looking for a 3 and a 6.
3 and a 6. 3 and a 6.
Yep. So, no, other than that, we're doing good. We've been we're getting accustomed to 2 kids, which is, you don't fully realize just how much need they suck from you until you have more than 1 kid.
I can.
And if you're not giving a whole lot of need to one, you're giving it to the other.
I can.
There is no need break.
Yeah. I can imagine. Have you picked out? Do you guys have, like, Halloween costumes for the kids? Are you guys gonna be anything?
My wife Facebook marketplaced a Mickey outfit for Seamus because he's obsessed with Mickey Mouse.
Nice.
To the point where he's like, "It's a Mickey Mouse on my t-shirt." It almost sounds like the classic, like, Rigoberto, chef, Italian chef.
I was gonna ask, like, is it like a Mario Mickey Mouse?
Kind of.
Okay.
I mean, the one time, like, the 2 or 3 times he's said it, he doesn't really say it much anymore, but when he first started getting into Mickey Mouse, it was about like that. It's a Mickey Mouse on my t-shirt.
That's great.
Yeah, it was hilarious. So we got him a Mickey Mouse costume, and I don't know what. I think we may just reuse a costume for Fenton / Owen.
So yeah, where did you guys land on
We haven't.
Finto, and
I mean, he's still Fenton until we change it.
what about
So
Ownton?
if we change it, Fonton.
Fonton or Ownton?
No. We could go Phonatin.
Phonatin?
Yeah.
You guys could phone it in.
Yep. That's right.
But
You're welcome. Yeah. No, we haven't. I think we're probably going to change it, but you never know.
You never know.
We've got another 11 months. No, 10 and a half months.
Is this a thing? You can change your kid's name for the first year?
Actually, in most states, you don't even have to go to court to do it.
Oh.
Oklahoma, you do. So we have to go fill out paperwork at the courthouse.
Yeah, I wonder.
But there's
I guess
there's a grace period in most states.
I guess I never considered that, and so I didn't look it up. I don't know what the rules are in California.
I would imagine y'all are pretty lax, but most
California's
states are
weird.
lax.
Sometimes
Yeah.
they're not lax on certain things, and sometimes they're lax on other things.
So you're saying they're inconsistent?
I think most states are inconsistent on at least one thing, for sure.
Yeah, but I feel like California, especially under fucking Gavin Newsom,
Gavin
is like
Newsom.
incredibly inconsistent.
Yeah, I mean, I think the inconsistencies probably trace back a few generations too. I don't think the governor was that consistent either when he was.
Yeah, but he was the fucking governor.
Yeah, he could do whatever he wants. The governor.
I love how largely conservative governors and presidents and things like that tend to, after their time in office, their reputation gets like reinvigorated.
Well, it's because
Arnold Schwarzenegger is like everyone's dad right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has, like, let's go into this. Arnold Schwarzenegger has the benefit where he was just, like, fiscally conservative, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he has the right stances on, social issues like, abortion and gay rights and things like that make him look like someone you still want to hang out with. And I mean, I don't think people voted for him for his, even though they were probably voting in his fiscal conservatism, they didn't know what they were voting for. They voted because he was the governor, and so
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's definitely the last Republican governor in California that I think I will ever see. So that was
No, that makes sense.
It was definitely kind of a surprise in that way. But
he's like the old school Republican back in the day when Democrats and Republicans actually had a lot of shared commonalities.
yeah, like he's probably not very different than like Bill Clinton, was.
Yeah.
You know, they were
they're
probably
pretty moderate.
They were all probably very similar. Whereas, like, now, you know, our mascot is like hardcore Democrats, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we love our dynasties of Democrats. You know, that's why our senators die in the Senate, you know. So
Yep.
Oh man. But like it's crazy because there's no opposition party. The opposition party is these insane conservatives who think that you can like put up someone who's going to be Trump and they're going to win in California. And they have no fucking chance. So it's
if they're going to win in California, they need to find a moderate Republican.
Yeah, I mean, not that I'm trying to get a Republican to win, but like it'd be great if there was at least some opposition party who had some sense of like, yeah, you know, we don't need dynasties, we don't need politicians who are in bed with power companies. We need like, you know, we need a liberal who can, you know, say no to big businesses and stuff. But yeah, I don't know.
That's never gonna happen.
No, it's weird. I don't know. I mean, yeah, what's going on in the world of Oklahoma politics?
Well, we still have a dumbass governor. That's probably not gonna go away anytime soon. He narrowly won the last election, so. But yeah, he's. I mean, so I originally come from Texas, and say what you want about the governor there, he's a piece of shit, but at least he's smart.
Yeah.
Our governor in Oklahoma is a piece of shit, and he's a dumbass. So tell me what that means, because like he's the equivalent of Trump. He's either smarter than we give him credit for, or he's dumb as a box of rocks and he's lucky.
Yeah.
It's one or the other, and no one can ever figure it out because it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Like I think that was.
He's not near as charismatic as Trump, though, and he's not as fun to watch. So.
Yeah. I think that was one thing that bothered me about when people would criticize George W. Bush. Like, there's so much you can criticize about George W. Bush, you know. But like, they would always go for his intelligence, and I'd be like, yeah, he says bumbling things, but he's not an idiot. Like, he's clearly not an idiot. And you know, I feel like I see that not necessarily in the intelligence way in Trump. You know, like you said, like there's this kind of is he, isn't he? But like, people really go after his physical appearance, and it's like it's like they want their dislike of someone to correlate to the, you know, to his outward appearance too. And it's kind of disheartening when you hear that you know, frame of criticism, because that has nothing to do with anything, and it also just underlies kind of an evil in ourselves, that we, you know, we look for a goodness of a person in their outward appearance, and I think it, you know, that's always cringy, because like, you know, people always call him like, you know, a fat slob or whatever, you know, they go after his weight, and then when it came out that he was like 6'3" and 215 pounds, I was like, you know,
that's not bad.
That's, overweight, but he's old, you know, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, why would you blow something up like that? Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think. I think it's the same theme of like, again, you dislike someone, and instead of going after the things that you dislike about them, you want it to kind of showcase in some other way. So,
Yeah. Well, you know what, Jamison? I mean, speaking of psychopaths and the people that filmed them,
yeah.
let's move into our film of the day, the week, the hour, the minute. Man Bites Dog. Now, you had seen this movie,
I
right?
had seen this movie before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you subbed this one in. I'd gotten a list, and I put a list together of films that ended with the Blair Witch Project, and you came along and saved me from having to watch that wretched piece of shit
Oh, yeah.
by adding this one instead. And I am so glad you did, because I had so much fun with this. Not so much with the rape parts. That was a little rough to watch, but even then, like, you know, not saying that, you know, rape was fun to watch or anything, but at least, like, it made sense. Like he's crazy.
Well,
and he brings the rest of them into it. And so part of me is like, I mean, at least it kind of it follows the thread. So,
well, yeah. I mean, speaking of this, like, kind of split between like a person who is good and their outward, you know, appearance or charisma or all that. Like, here you have this very charismatic person, and this is what makes the film very watchable too, is like, he's funny, he's fun to watch, he's, you know, you don't know what to expect, and it keeps you on your...
And by all appearances in public, he's someone who loves his family and is very, you know, extroverted and like loves all the people and whatnot. But he just kills a shit ton of people.
Yeah, he's the man of the community, and he wants to feel that way too, you know. He wants to be seen as, you know, the bedrock of where he's from, and but he's just shooting everyone, talking about how he kills people and who he goes after, and he'll like kill someone and then he'll turn around and he'll talk about how life was so difficult for them, you know, and have this pity for them.
And talk about how violence is like the mad corruption of society.
Yeah.
And yet he's the one who's like constantly tossing dead bodies over into rivers. With the classic like lie, like his whole questioning around how much you have to add to the body for it to sink completely.
Yeah.
You know, he's testing them. He's like, how much for a kid?
Exactly. Yeah, I would say, so this movie I think when I first saw it, you know, I'd heard all these like dark things about it and how controversial it was. And I'm definitely desensitized at this point. Like, there were a couple scenes where I was like, oof, I didn't remember how dark it got there. Specifically the rape scene. Or rather the aftermath of the rape scene.
The aftermath,
I think that's when everything hits you and you're like, oh, I do not feel good after this whole thing. But there are a couple points in this movie where really feel like it really hits you. One being like after that scene, and then two, that quarry that he keeps like throwing the bodies into. At one point, the water drains out of it, and it's just covered in bodies. and you're just like,
and he gets the camera people to start digging dirt up and hiding the bodies.
yeah, he's like, you guys gotta hide the bodies.
I can still see his legs.
Yeah,
Dig it deeper.
but it's just covered, and you just see how much carnage this one person
Oh God.
has done.
Yeah. But I couldn't tell you how many times I mean, I saw the description and it says this is a black comedy. And it deserves every bit of it because I was laughing every time a body would go over the edge of the...
Yeah.
Because it's just got that whole, like, the way bodies, like, just thud against, like, rocks on the way down. It's funny. I'm sorry. That's a horrible thing for me to say, but it's hilarious.
Yeah,
So.
it is, and it's. I mean, you have to laugh too because this person is like getting away with all of these things without consequence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, something isn't right with the world. Like this type of violence shouldn't happen, and it's happening every second, every moment. And, you know, you're almost kind of with the camera crew in that way where, like, you can only react in one way, and that's to laugh, you know.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I feel like this movie is one of the more effective versions of this kind of the audience, you know, you're complicit in this because it has this kind of camera crew who follows this guy, and they do slowly get pulled in to do the misdeeds with him, you know. So you have kind of this avatar in the film who represents you. So it's kind of a good good trick on that.
But it, you know, you go back to the way he speaks, like in the parts of the quote unquote documentary where he's just talking as he's walking down the road. He's clearly has opinions about politics and society and art and all these things. And it really showcases the absurdity of those people who, like, have all these high-minded ideals, and yet the deeds they do in the dark are just, like, horrendous.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of lays bare, like, the quote-unquote true soul of humanity. So, because
yeah,
we like
I mean,
to talk
there's
a lot.
almost times where he seems like woke, you know, and you wouldn't really expect that from a psychopathic murderer like that. But yeah, it's definitely a shock. Well, folks, I think my connection is lost, but I'm gonna keep talking, see if I connect back with Blake. Ooh, I think I hear the Skype trying to connect. But yeah, well, we'll see if this gets back.
I'm back.
Oh, you're back?
Can you see me?
I can see you and I can hear you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, our Skype just melted.
Yeah, I think that was me. But sorry.
How dare you, sir?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty fascinating character study. And whenever you pitched it to me, you tied it to another film, a more recent film that I'm a fan of, which is Creep with Mark Duplass, and its sequel, which is pretty good. Not as good, but pretty good. But I could totally see where you were coming from on that comparison. This one's not near as creepy, but the charisma of the psychopath is just like they're on par.
Yeah, and I think too when you watch when there are scenes where the film crew are kind of the who you're supposed to focus on,
Yeah.
you definitely see this uncomfortableness building in them, and I think those scenes are great, especially because it almost has like they almost stole the Spinal Tap bit too, where the drummers in Spinal Tap always die, and they keep getting new ones that they always die. Their sound guys always die. They always get kind of mixed up. I feel like they could have done it like they could have had one more iteration of that joke to really clasp it, but it happens twice, and so it's kind of fun.
It's hilarious. Yeah, I think whenever I was putting this list together, I came across this, but I had quickly read the description and didn't sound horror-ish enough. And so I was like, maybe not. And I didn't know anything about it. But then when you mentioned it, I was like, fuck it, might as well. Let's do it. And to be honest, I think it might have been the most terrifying of the three so far.
Of the three, I think. I think we have another competitor coming up soon.
Oh yes, very much so.
But yeah, it's also interesting because, and you wrote something about this movie. I feel like
no one gives a crap about that.
We don't need to get into it, but I do because it relates to our conversation on the pod. How does it really fit into kind of the broader found footage? So, we started with Cannibal Holocaust. The footage was literally found in that movie by one of the characters, and then McPherson tape, which was very much kind of a classic version of this found footage, where you had kind of the family, home video type of thing.
Yeah.
Amateurs, whatnot. This movie, we're kind of going back to a Cannibal Holocaust-y, documentary film crew. But it still kind of has that found footage vibe to it.
Well, and it does simply because what's the final shot of the movie?
Exactly.
Like the camera is just like sideways on the ground, no one survives, and you're like, oh, okay. So this is what they had so far, apparently. In theory, this was picked up by somebody and strung together into, here's what they had gotten.
Mm-hmm.
They hadn't gotten a chance to edit it or put it together into an actual cohesive storyline, which actually is, because guess what? It's an actual movie. But, you've got that context. Like, you have the subject of the film, and you have those who are filming him and the context around him. But then it ends up being basically found footage.
Mm-hmm.
Your typical. And what I found actually pretty fascinating, and I think this was a pretty clever thing that they did, is when they're in the hideout, and I think it's the hideout, and they run across the other killer and the documentary crew that's following him.
Mm-hmm.
And I started cracking up at that point, because that's totally what you would call in this day and age, probably not at that time, but now, a very meta thing to do.
Yeah. It's that
And so-
it's that Spider-Man meme.
Exactly.
Where
Yeah.
you have Spider-Mans
Exactly.
pointing at each other.
But at that point, like that was probably largely fairly uncommon, and I'm sure they may have had meta narrative at that point, but it was probably largely in the academia. But I would imagine it was probably just more of a curiosity at that time in a film.
Mm-hmm.
So. But nowadays, I'm looking at that and I'm like, yeah, but that's all part of the whole game of what found footage is. Is this, like, it's recognition that, like, any one of us could be filmed,
Mm-hmm.
and weird shit could happen, and the footage gets lost for whatever reason. Someone picks it up and watches it or whatever. Or you could come across and you have someone doing a documentary on you and you get shot and all your crew gets shot, and that's the end of you. That's your found footage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's interesting because found footage, I feel like at this stage, okay, so this film came out in like 1992 or something around that time.
Mm-hmm.
At this stage, we've talked about documentary film before. You've already kind of passed the point where like Errol Morris has started kind of making movies. It's firmly established that documentarians are now characters in their documentary.
Yeah.
But what separates found footage is one, it's fiction. Not that documentary isn't fiction, but I'm not going that direction. But it's a fictional story. We know that there's no fact about a serial killer, so it's not based on facts. But the character too, the pretense is that the characters in the movie didn't have control of themselves being characters. So in a documentary, not only is the documentarian a character, but they basically had God mode when they put the film together over who their character is. Whereas in found footage, we're led to believe that that's not the case. You don't get to control. You don't get editing at the end. There's no editing stage. And that, maybe there was some editing in this movie, prior to it being left there. But I think it hinges on this fact that you're seeing something that's a little bit raw, right?
Yeah.
Um,
in the sense that you're ultimately seeing a person as they are instead of what you find in a documentary, which you can make a case is a version of a person, but not actually the true person, because there's still a camera there, and they could be playing up certain elements of their persona and downplaying others, and I mean, that's what makes good cinema is,
Yeah, but I think in this case, like, even though it's just an illusion, like, this was a fully edited film, but even just the illusion that this documentary crew didn't get the chance to kind of put that spin on this, you start to kind of see the cracks of what they were trying to do. They were trying to follow this serial killer, very objectively.
Yeah.
But, they didn't get the chance to kind of edit out all of their helping him and all of, so you, as a viewer kind of get to see their misdeeds. So.
Well, and I mean, that kind of plays back into Cannibal Holocaust too.
Yeah.
Is that you're seeing footage as it was unedited, showing the documentarians at their worst.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Oh well.
Yeah.
Doesn't. No biggie. Wasn't important.
Well, yeah. So Cannibal Hall. I feel like this movie. I mean, the connection is documentary, whereas like in McPherson Tape, it wasn't a documentary. It was a home video.
No.
And I think we're gonna get a different twist on found footage next time too.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about next week's, but as far as like Cannibal Holocaust and Man Bites Dog, which one did you like more?
Oh, Man Bites Dog, hands down.
Yeah, I think
it's one I could actually watch again and enjoy it.
Yeah,
just as much as I did before.
Yeah, I think.
But that's because it's funny. There's a lot of. I would say that there's more layers to it than Cannibal Holocaust. I think they achieve what they set out to do. Not only that, but it has a very classic feel to it. Like it, every time I think about the fact that it was filmed in 1992 or it came out in 1992, I'm always like, this feels so much older than that.
Yeah,
this feels like the 1960s, 1970s, like grindhouse kind of shit. And so part of me is like, it's a film out of time in some ways. And the fact that they could pull it off and kind of take these precursors and then play with them in a way that the previous ones hadn't really done.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that like you're starting to see as these films kind of continue, and it's never a perfect trajectory, but you're seeing a lot more meta commentary as we move along. Layers upon layers of context and commentary and playfulness and cleverness with how something is, and I think that's going to continue with next week's. And then I haven't seen our final one.
Yeah, I have.
So I'll be curious to see how that one plays out. But
I have no idea what that one holds. I know nothing about it. I think the first time I heard about it was when you put it in the list. So,
well, all I know is it's a search for the Jersey Devil. So,
hey,
can't go wrong with that. Gotta love searching for cryptids. Come on now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think one of the first things that you said too is true. This is a movie I could watch again, and I did actually this time.
Yeah.
I think if you had proposed watching Cannibal Holocaust again, or Cannibal Holocaust, and I had already seen it, I might be like, well, I'll talk about it, but I don't know if I want to.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I don't think I need to watch it again. I think I could recommend this movie to friends, maybe with the caveat about like, there's a really intense rape. Yeah, there's a really intense rape scene. There's some child deaths in this movie. Like, there's really, I definitely think that they intended to cross many lines with this movie.
Oh, yeah.
But the stakes feel very clear, and I don't think anyone is going into this movie being too surprised. Maybe if I was like at the Cannes Film Festival and I knew nothing about it, I could see like being appalled or whatever. I don't know. I don't think I would ever find myself in that situation, so I don't think I'd be appalled. But, maybe in that scenario, but outside of that, it's not going to I don't know, cause outrage anymore.
I don't think I've honestly ever been appalled at a film.
I'm trying to. I mean, I don't want to say that.
I mean, appalled in the sense that I thought it was a piece of shit. That's a different story.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I was.
appalled in a sense of like something on the screen, like pushed against some core value that I hold as a human being. No.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I've seen some pretty rough ones too, and still didn't.
Yeah,
do it.
I mean, I think at this point there are. I think a snuff film would definitely do that.
And if I knew it was a true blue snuff film, then yes, that would be appalling, and I probably wouldn't watch it if I knew it.
Yeah,
so.
it's like, it's like the Faces of Death type stuff. I just have no interest in that, and I think we talked about that. We talked about like GIFs that show people die, and it's like I'm not interested in that.
Ever since we talked about that, I've thought about it almost every day. So.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm intellectually invigorated by that idea.
Oh.
So.
Yeah. Well, we also talked about. I think you're thinking of. We had another conversation about GIFs and death, where it was. It was like if you use a GIF of a dead person too many times, do they eventually haunt you? Yeah.
It's like they become a tulpa.
Yeah. No, I really like this idea too. I like the idea of like having. I mean, I don't have this principle, but if you had the principle where you would never use a GIF of a dead person because you thought like their spirit was in it, like I'm thinking. Well, I love Arrested Development GIFs, and Lucille, Jessica Walters, rest in peace. I think that show died when she died, but like I love her GIFs, and I was thinking about that. I was like, is this disrespectful? I'm not. I don't think it's disrespectful, but what I do think is disrespectful is when people make money off of Tupac's hologram. And I guess I was like, well, I'm posting GIFs for social clout between my friends. That's a form of currency. Am I just as bad?
Well, everything's commodified, right?
Yeah.
Everything's transactional on some level.
Yeah.
Even this podcast.
Speaking of transactions, I actually had one more question about the movie.
Okay.
This is do I have permission to ask a challenging question?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you think of your favorite child right now? You don't say their name. Just think of them.
Like favorite child in the history of humanity?
No.
Or my favorite child of the two that I've got?
Of the two that you have, think of your favorite one.
Okay.
All
right.
Because now that they are chosen as your favorite one, this is going to take them down a peg. Would you rather have them be a serial killer or be killed by a serial killer?
My favorite one.
It could be your lead. I don't care. I just wanted you to pick a specific one. You don't have to say who it is that you're picking.
Well, the moral fiber in me says that I'd rather have him killed by a serial killer. But like the unabashed like coolness factor makes me want to say he's a serial killer.
Yeah. I thought about that because, like, in the movie, you have the mom character, and there's a scene where she's reading about one of the deaths that her son causes, and she gets so enraged by that. But when he's caught and she visits him in jail, she's like, I don't believe
Yeah.
any of this, you know. So it's like she's torn in this way. She doesn't know what she wants more. And so
And yeah. I mean, I want to say that that's not terribly accurate, but I'm also like, I'm not sure how I would react if my child was found out to be a serial killer. Like, the cognitive dissonance that would happen with that would be a complete mindfuck. So
yeah, I'm just thinking through it. I think I could deal with like caring for my child if something bad were to happen to them easier than caring for them if they turned out to be rotten, right?
yeah.
And I definitely think I definitely think that, like, you're their parent, you have to figure out a way to, like, care for them somehow. And I'm not putting limits on what that means. You know, I don't necessarily think it means that you even have to open your home up to them depending on what type of rotten they are. But, you know, I think that is a unique challenge of parents to children. And yeah, I think if they're a victim, it's like easier to care for them. It's easier to kind of be a parent than if they're a perpetrator.
But it also means that they're not there.
Yeah. Well, or a
sucks.
part of them is gone, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, I feel like it's a little unfair to our kids to talk about them in non-abstract terms.
Jamison, who's your favorite kid?
Who's my favorite child? I'm gonna think of it and just not say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the mystery. That you kept there.
Good. No, I asked Kira that question specifically about Hazel earlier in the week, and she like got mad at me. She was like, "That is not a fair question. I don't appreciate thinking about it." So
has she been watching all these films with you?
Somewhat. So she watched part of this one, and she did watch McPherson tape, I think, or part of it, and she watched all of Cannibal Holocaust.
Did she watch any of next week's?
She's already seen Ghost Watch, so we already watched it together.
Yeah.
I had it on last night when she was like knitting, and I think she she watched the whole thing. Or she was in the same room as the whole thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. What about Melissa? Is she watching any of this?
No, fuck no. No.
Have you watched any horror movies with her this season?
No.
No.
I've watched 3 horror films with her in our time together.
Did she like any of them?
Fuck no. I tried to ease her into it with What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh yeah.
Which is, hilarious. Didn't really particularly care for that. She was traumatized by Halloween 2018 and went to see it in the theaters. Like, to the point of, like, she had to take a Ambien to go to sleep that night because she was just thrown off by that. She loved the first Halloween, the original Halloween.
Oh,
because we watched that before we went to see the 2018 one.
Sure.
and she was totally down with that one. Like, it's not gonna be her favorite film by any stretch or anything, but she at least saw why people like it.
Okay.
But then we went to see that one, and she was like bawling by the end of it because she was just like, "It's just so senseless." And I was like, "Yes, that's why we likes it."
Well, so that means she liked 1 out of 3. The original Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, liked. She thought it was passable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's... I mean, credit where credit is due. She watched it with you.
I keep trying to get her to watch Alien with me, and she hasn't done it yet. Because I think that one might have a shot.
Does she like
Because Ripley's a badass motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true. Does she like other Alien movies?
I honestly can't tell you if she's seen any other Alien movies. She's probably seen E.T.
I was gonna ask E.T. Yeah.
I'm sure she's seen E.T. Although she hasn't seen any of the Star Wars.
Oh,
so
that's fine.
I mean, she thought Spaceballs was just
it?
a funny movie, and it was not a spoof of anything.
That's
how little she knew about Star Wars. So
that's pretty funny. That's good.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah. That's almost as good a joke as there is in Spaceballs.
I crack up every time we're in a company with just anyone, really. And they bring up Parks and Rec or The Office. And, like, which most people are like, have enough of a pulse, even if they haven't watched all of it or anything like that. They know that's in the air. Like,
they know the characters.
You just know. It's The Office. It's Parks and Rec.
You've seen the GIFs.
And so,
you can use the GIFs because no one's dead yet.
My wife knows none of it.
Oh.
None of it. She hasn't seen it. She would not like it because she does not like the awkward, like, cringy humor. And
she would.
And so whenever people will talk about Michael Scott or talk about a scene in The Office, like, it'll just be like a glazed over look, and I just start laughing because I'm like, she has no idea what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. She doesn't.
Yeah,
she doesn't.
Well, make sure she doesn't use GIFs, because if she doesn't know if the people are alive or dead, she might find herself accidentally haunted by them.
She actually seldom uses them. She uses emoticons more than anything.
Yeah.
Which I think is deeply troubling, but I'm not a fan of emoticons. I think they seem a little... I'll use them every so often, but usually because it's like an eggplant. Like Thirst Trap.
Oh. I was curious because you call them emoticons. Is that like is that what they call them?
Emojis.
Oh, okay.
Emoticons, whatever you want to call them.
I thought maybe that was in Oklahoma what you guys call emojis.
No, I've heard it both ways. I mean, it's emoted icons, emoticons. So.
Yeah. Well.
But you know what? You know what they say?
What did
man bites dog, dog bites back.
They do say that. That's one of those things.
You know what else they say?
It's time to wrap up.
Fool me once. Shame on me. Fool me twice. They won't get fooled again.
Yep.
That's a quote from the great Bush.
That is one of his good quotes.
That's the one that the media was like, ha ha ha, he's an idiot. And then he bombed the shit out of a bunch of Eastern countries. But, you know, whatever. You do you.
Woof.
I think that was a really good note to end on.
I don't think we can get any more horrific than that. Yeah.
No. I mean, I guess we could talk about the My Lai massacre in Vietnam and all the rape that happened and pillaging and killing.
I don't want to.
Well, we already have, so it doesn't matter. Jamison's like, please God, just end this.
I'm ready. Take me.
Okay.
Take me out of this podcast, Blake. Just for the episode. No, I want to come back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you wanted me to kill you.
Oh. No. I don't. All right.
Okay. Well, I won't do that.
Well, we're definitely over our time for our hour of power.
Yeah.
So.
Hour of power. Okay. Well, good talking to you.
Good talking to you too, Blake. I'll see you next week. Bye.